Hey everybody, this is Kerry, co-founder of Power Palace Gym. And today I want to do a different type of tour. I've done tours of the equipment that we've got in here. Now I want to do a tour of some of the decor that we've got on the walls over here, right? And we're 1980s themed, early 90s, because, you know, the early 90s is kind of an extension of the 80s in my opinion. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in this place. I'll probably just start this direction around the room and then come back over here, okay? So first of all, we've got some photos of the other co-founder of the gym, Rock Piscatelli. He's got some of his lifts up here. He's got some of the famous people he's met, like Hulk Hogan up here, right? Okay, then we've got Daryl Jones. He's a trainer here, some of the people that he's trained, some of his certificates. Then I got my small little section of some of my awards. I actually have more awards than this, but they're in my storage trailer down in Texas at the moment. Then we've got these mannequins who are just sort of, you know, getting people into the vibe for the 80s. And you might notice that she is actually wearing a authentic 80s era pin of Ramblin' Rod, who is a very famous morning cartoon show host that was local here for a lot of years. Very beloved person. And immediately behind them, we have a poster of Mannequin 2 on the move. Just as kind of like an inside gag about the mannequins. So we have Back to the Future. We've got Pumping Iron 2, the Women documentary film. We've got the Barbarian Brothers in the Barbarians movie. We've got Hot Dog, the movie. We've got Can't Buy Me Love. We've got Purple Rain. We've got Howard the Duck. And we got Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of course, this fits with our little movie TV section here because we just play 80s, early 90s stuff on our TV. We've got Baywitch. We got Mr. T. Okay, it's an authentic Mr. T 80s poster too, by the way. Got Miami Vice, and we've got The Greatest American Hero. Next, we've got a few more movie posters over here. Okay, we've got Vision Quest, which is a great wrestling movie, in my opinion. We got Aliens with Ripley. This is actually the B version poster, which I think is more heroic than the other one. We got Short Circuit 2, which I think is a funny movie. Red Sonja and Conan the Destroyer. Okay, so then we've got these 80s era exercise anatomy charts. This one came out of a magazine, and this was just a generic sort of one that was produced back in 1982. Got a little slam ball, detailed instructions here. Okay, so now let's get into some of the famous people, right? We've got Robbie Robinson, authentic poster. Almost always are authentic, original posters, by the way. This is from Muscle and Digest. We got a Pat Hayes, Yvonne Hoover. And then we've got Kirsty Bowser here. I unfortunately cannot remember the name of these two individuals, but I believe that they did an 80s fitness tape series. Then we have Dolph Lundgren from his kickboxing days, pre-Rocky 3. And then, of course, we got Mike Tyson up there fighting, is that Frazier? I'm not sure about that. Then we have another Arnold here from one of his Conan pictures. It probably is Conan the Destroyer, to be honest. Then we've got Jean-Claude Van Damme. And moving down here, I'm trying so hard to remember her name. She's a big, famous fitness model back in the day. I can't remember her name, but we do have Lee Haney, multi-time Mr. Olympia. And then we have Heather Locklear. Of course, we've got another Arnold here, okay? And then we've got Franco here, right? And then we've got Naomi Campbell. We've got Hulk Hogan. And we have Sheer. And then we have to have Ronnie Coleman, because even though he's not early 90s, okay, you got to have Ronnie Coleman. Then we've got a Rachel McEllish. We've got a Kiana Tom. I'm trying to remember the name of the show. I think it was called Body Sculpting or something like that. It was on ESPN. She's a big famous fitness coach. Of course, got Tom Platz doing a bent over row. And then we have Tony Atlas autographed. And the person that is with him is actually Rocky Johnson, who is The Rock's dad. They're big wrestlers. Okay, so now we're going a little bit around the corner here. And I'm not sure who she is, but she's pretty ripped. So put her up on the wall. I thought, I need a little bit more, females doing some stuff in here. It's actually hard to find affordable, bodybuilder female posters. Apparently there's some sort of fetish going on, and people pay a lot of money for them. And, I'm only going to pay so much money for stuff. This is a Dorian Yates poster from Iron Man. I like to put it over here by the pullover, since he is known for using the pullover to build his enormous back. Got a Phil Heath poster up here. And then I've got this 1989 tiger poster. Tigers and lions were like super popular, like jungle stuff was super popular back in the 80s. And of course, Newburgh High School's mascot is the tiger, right? So we got a little more space over here. I can put some more stuff up after I get the mirrors up for the Smith machine. Let's see. We've got, of course, we've got the Tom Platz autograph poster. This was actually autographed by Tom Platz to his father before I think it was the 1980-81 Mr. Olympia. This was actually acquired from an estate sale after his father passed. And Tom Platz has gifted us this poster to bless our gym and inspire another generation of lifters here. I've got a Ronnie Coleman poster because you have to have, like in my opinion, you have to have a Tom Platz poster and you have to have a Ronnie Coleman poster by your squat racks. We've got another Arnold inspirational quote here, and we've got a powerlifting sign. Then let's see what else we've got. We got another Arnold and Franco yet again up here. This is a different contest, I believe. Then we've got a California Girls 1990 calendar up there. We've got a Sylvester Stallone Rambo 2 poster. Got a Journey poster over here. We've got another one of the California Girls series. This is the Armed and Dangerous poster. Again, these are authentic era posters. These aren't reproductions. Getting over here now, we've got Naomi Campbell. We've got Sylvester Stallone. I believe this was back when he was training for Rocky 3, and he was working out at the Santa Monica Bodybuilding Center, which was a very famous gym back in the day. Unfortunately, is no longer around. Dolph Lundgren, of course, is Masters of the Universe. He-Man is like my favorite cartoon when I was a kid, and I actually loved this movie as a child. And it's just a great, very, very awesome physique that he had there. We got Bruce Lee over here, and then we have Corey Everson as Marilyn Monroe. We've got a Mike Quinn poster up there. Hey, look at those guns, okay? And then going down the hallway to our bathroom, we've got our Arnold inspirational poster here. We've got a gallery of immortals, which shows everybody who had won a Mr. Olympia contest up till Ronnie Coleman in 2002. So Larry Scott, Sergio Olivio, Arnold, Franco, Frank Zane. We got Chris Dickerson, Samir Banat, Lee Haney, Dorian Yates, and Ronnie, of course. And then we've got from the Masters 1994, which has Robbie Robinson, okay, getting on it. We've got Lou Ferrigno, got Bauer Coe, Chris Dickerson, Olivia Nuss, and Bernard Seeley. And right here we have, this is something I found very affordably. I was looking for muscular women and affordable stuff, and I came across this. I don't know who these gals are. This was actually an original thing. I had it blown up elsewhere. There's a larger version of this. But I just thought these two babes are just I wish I had a time machine to go back in time and find these girls, because it's really hard to find girls that look like this these days. Let's just say that. There's a Shelley Beatty poster. She is very ripped in this. Let's see. Continuing down here, we have Shelley Beatty again. And, this is her from her Siren days when she was on American Gladiator. We have a Tom Selleck poster from when he was in the USA Volleyball as an honorary captain. It was sort of a promo thing. And then we have this Becky Ramsey, 1993. She has a little poster here that was in Flex magazine. Then I have this little inspirational this isn't 80s, but I think it's just very inspirational. This is an Iranian bodybuilder, Vahid Muradi, and I was like, you know, he's got no arms, so he's got no arms, he's got a ripped physique. What's your excuse, guys? Like, come on, let's get motivated. Let's get some stuff done here. And I just have like a little muscle fitness chart here that talks about how to build, you know, really great arms and some stuff for pecs. Now, what I like about this is it shows doing an incline press, you know, and talks about doing incline dumbbell flies and things that just aren't as common anymore. And I wanted to show members like this is how they used to do it back in the day. Then we've got these two pieces from the Newburgh Graphic, which is a local newspaper here, about some local lifters. Then we've got this Caribbean Gold poster. You know, we encourage our members to get a nice tan. Then this is the women's bathroom area. We got Christy Brinkley, a little magazine ad from the 80s that I thought was kind of fun. Another Corey Everson autograph photo, and then another California Girls poster. Then we have this gal here, not everybody likes, so I won't put her name. Ballet, then we have this, which I think is really kind of cool. I found this, it wasn't very expensive on eBay, and it's like an actual like outfit catalog of different types of outfits that women would wear for different types of exercising back in the 80s. And I think, you know, I know some of it's not necessarily the most functional, but like, it'd be kind of cool if, you know, some people decided to like dress up 80s style to work out at the 80s style gym. So I'm just giving our members some ideas. Okay, let's continuing on. We've got this Japanese bodybuilder who I actually cannot remember his name, but he's got a great physique here, and I thought, like, let's put him up on the wall. Then I got another one of these very muscular blonde women from the 80s who's got the wild hair, and I was like, you know, she's got bigger arms, I think, than I do, but you know what? I'd date her. Then we got a Kathy Lee Crosby photo poster. Another Rachel McEllish. We've got Roddy Piper here is a big wrestler who's actually wrestled out of Portland for a number of years, and he retired actually in this area here in Newburgh, and there used to be a gym here in town that he worked out of before he died, which was the Health Habit here in town. Don Lawn and Flex Wheeler, of course. And I can't remember this gentleman's name again. This is the same guy who was at their side with the girl. They did some sort of VHS fitness tape. I can't remember their names, unfortunately. Then of course we have Kiana Tom again with a bunch of other guys who I cannot remember their names, but they did the ESPN show. I think it was called Body Sculpting back in the 80s and 90s. Then we've got Momo Benazizi, I think it is. Chris Cormier, and Roland Serzlock, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Just got badass physiques here. Then, of course, we've got another Amar Hadar poster, okay? Ahmad Hadar. And then we have Corey Everson, who is probably like one of the most famous models from the 80s. Like, she had so much fame that she had to retire early because she was getting like tons of stalkers and stuff. Like, just gorgeous woman that unfortunately got a bit more attention than she could handle. But damn, I mean, she's just still very beautiful. Then we've got this Dave Rogers poster print from an early Silver Age magazine. Trying to remember this gentleman's name, but he's a big famous wrestler. And I think that he actually wrestled out of Portland too. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name. I actually got that as a bonus with some other stuff I had ordered, somebody had sent me. Ronnie Coleman Muscle Mag poster. Very inspirational. I am trying to remember her name. She's a Spanish fitness model from the 80s. I cannot remember her name, unfortunately. Then we've got another one of these Corey Everson with Linda Murray posters. And then, of course, we got Rufus Howard, who was the 1982 Mr. Olympia winner, which I was born in 1982, so I wanted to have my year represented by somebody, and I thought Rufus Howard looks pretty jacked. So then we've got this smaller print of the muscular blonde babe over there, and then a much larger one, a blown up print of the two girls. We got this Lee Vibrato one, which is unfortunately being covered up at the moment by our cubicles, which I'm going to change how this is so we no longer cover up our posters. But he's got a great physique. Then we've got this Arnold Schwarzenegger little print that was in a Flex magazine back in the day. We've got the cast, the original cast of American Gladiator. And then we got Sergio Olivo later in his career. It's actually an autographed little poster here. And then, of course, we got, just our general 80s sort of stuff. We've got a Hulk Hogan print over here. Okay, we've got a muscular development model up there. Laura Selway. We've got a Spuds MacKenzie poster. We've got a Muppets poster. We've got a print of the cast of Saved by the Bell. Got the Mask poster. We've got, of course, an Elvira poster, original poster, by the way. These are all originals. Guns N' Roses. Okay, we got Whitesnake, we got Motley Crue, we got Cyndi Lauper, we got Poison, we got Kiss, and we've got Van Halen. A little over there in the corner there, we've got a Spaceballs poster. We've got a Kane Roberts. I'll give you a little closer look at that in a second. We got another Spuds MacKenzie. Kane Roberts was known for basically having this sort of Rambo motif. He had a guitar that looked like a gun, and he would shoot pyrotechnics out of it. He was in. He was a player in. Oh shit! I'm trying to remember his name. He's known for the Teenage Frankenstein. Oh god, I'm trying to remember his name now. I can't remember it. Alice Cooper. Okay, and then finishing this off a little bit. I can't remember. I don't know why I couldn't remember Alice Cooper's name. Journey poster again. We've got a Top Gun. This is not original, but I thought it was pretty badass. This is original. The California Raisins, a Rude Dog. We've got a Max Headroom Coke, and then we've got a Last Starfighter poster. So it's kind of a look at some of the memorabilia that we've got here at the Power Palace. Sort of cultivate this sort of, feel like you're traveled back in time, but plus be inspired by some of the legendary people from the past who cultivated physiques with equipment that can all be found in this gym. There's nothing in my gym that these people didn't have access to, and there's a lot here that they didn't have access to, like some of this hammer strength equipment. So you really got no excuses to not have a good physique after working out here. So here you go, guys. What more could you want from the Power Palace?